अग्रे अस्माकं पुरतः प्रसाद कैपा वर्यः आगताः सन्ति। महोदयः दीर्घकालतः संस्कृतभारती परिचितः जनः अस्ति। आरम्भकालात् एव यदा अमेरिकादेशे संस्कृतभारत्याः वर्गाणाम् आरम्भः अभवत्, संस्कृतभारत्याः परिचयः अत्र जातः, तदानीम् एव कैपा महोदयः अस्माभिः सह संयुक्तः अस्ति। महोदयः इदानीं चेयर्मन् आफ् द बोर्ड् आफ् संस्कृतभारती अस्ति, सभापतिः, संस्कृतभारत्याः सभापतिः अस्ति। 2010तः 2013 पर्यन्तं 2010 तः 2013 पर्यन्तं महोदयः संस्कृतभारत्याः अध्यक्षः, तन्नाम चेयर्मन्, तन्नाम क्षम्यतां प्रेसिडेण्ट् इति आसीत्, प्रेसिडेण्ट् आफ् संस्कृतभारती। इदानीं चेयर्मन् आफ् द बोर्ड्, सभापतिः यथा अहम् उक्तवती। महोदयः न केवलं संस्कृतानुरागी, न केवलं संस्कृतहितैषी, परन्तु he also puts his money where his mouth is. तन्नाम महोदयः संस्कृतछात्रः अपि अस्ति। महोदयः संस्कृतवर्गेषु पठति अपि इति अस्माकं प्रेरणादायकः विषयः भवेत्। तर्हि वयम् अस्माकं सर्वेषां प्रेरणास्थानमस्ति कैपावर्यः अपि। महोदयः कृपया अस्मान् उद्दिश्य किञ्चित् वदतु इति प्रार्थयामि। कृपया।
अहं आङ्ग्लभाषे वदामि. Some of the things which I'm just formulating, and it's much easier for me to speak in English. One of the topics that we have been working with is identity. What does it mean to have and to be proud of and to be able to defend as well as to be able to spread who we are? If we truly look at Hindu Sanskriti, even in the dharmic religions, there are some things very unique about what it means to be a Hindu. I spent a large amount of time when we created different institutes, Hindu Community Institute, in universities when I was looking at. For past 30 years, I have been trying to identify what are the unique distinctions and differentiations that are in Hindu Dharma. So I came up with about 30, 25, and Vijay Kapoor, who is in the Bay Area, we looked at some things, we developed some courses some time ago to be a Hindu. But recently, for past 3-4 years, as I've been working on Institute of Indic Wisdom, we came down to 4 things that give us the identity, actually, that are unique about being a Hindu. They come down to 4 themes. One is Tattvam. When we say Tattvamasi, when we say Aham Brahmasmi, when you look at that, is telling us who we are at some level. The deepest level, who we are, is nothing but Brahman. Okay, but that is philosophical, that is 30,000 feet point of view. Several of us, while we may get in touch with it at different times, different states of being, we had some experience of transcending beyond our identity. How do we actually connect with our true nature, our true identity? That is number 1. And that identity discovery, identity connection to who we are, comes through 3 more points of view. One is clarifying what is my dharma. When I identify who I am, along with that comes the responsibility of am I doing my dharmam, swadharmam. Of course, because there are different responsibilities in different roles. When I am speaking, I have a particular dharma. When I am a student, chhatra, I have a different kind of a dharma. When I am with my family, I have a different kind of dharma. So people can say, within that, what is my identity? I play so many roles. For that, we need to inquire into what is my swadharma. Sometimes in the management, they connect it with purpose. Discover your purpose. Especially youth, when they go from house to college or when they come from Bharat to here, several times they lose meaning, they lose connection. They start questioning, what is my identity? Who am I? Why am I here? At that time, they start connecting with three things: purpose, passion and meaning. Who and what gives me meaning? That's why the peer pressure and the connecting with other people who think like us, who are also listening to similar things, and they connect with our dharma. If you can connect with other people who are thinking and working with you, then that actually grows within you. That's why it is very important, high school students, college students, outside, the sangha becomes very important. Because sangat sanjayate kama, kama krodho vijayate. Depending on the sangha, you will have different kinds of things that come in. So, first is tattvam. Tattvam is connected with dharma. So we have to keep on asking, what is my dharma? Once you know your purpose, your vision, how you go about it, the dharma becomes extraordinarily clear. That is how management schools think and teach. But what I found is, if I truly inquire into myself, if I begin to ask myself, who am I? What is my identity? You think about primary identity, secondary identity, tertiary identity. Sometimes we think about, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a youth, I am a Hindu. You know, I speak Sanskritam. There are different ways in which you look at it. The conflict comes when other people start defining us, whether it is newspapers, whether it is somebody else. When you get activated by it, whatever activates you, whatever excites you, whatever makes you angry, whatever generates an emotional reaction in you, chances are that is connected with your tattva, that is connected with your identity. And what you think we think it is instinctive level. Actually, when you are deeply connected with dharma, it becomes intuitive level. I won't go into tamasic level, it becomes instinct. Sattvic level, it becomes intuition. Rajasic level, we think about vision. But truly, dharma begins to become clear once you start inquiring, what is my primary identity? What is the identity that makes me extraordinarily proud? That is second part. The third part that comes into is, what differentiates Hindu dharma from even Buddhist dharma, Jain dharma or other dharmic religions is the concept of Purna. Purnatva. Purnamada, Purnamida, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. When we say that, what does that Purnam indicate? See, in the West we talk about systems thinking. Even with the AI, with all this stuff, even with the deep learning, all of that, people are beginning to ask, what is the system? What are the boundaries of the system? And who am I in that system? Am I a part? There is a concept, sometimes in science there used to be, Arthur Kessler came up with a concept called Holan. Holan means, I am whole by myself and I am also part of something larger. I am whole as a human being. I am whole as a Hindu. I am part of a Hindu family, or I am part of Samskrita Bharati. And Samskrita Bharati is part of something larger. Samskrita Bharati USA is part of Samskrita Bharati India. So there is a way in which I can create, I am whole and I am part of a larger whole, larger whole. That is how sometimes the Western ways think about it. That is a fundamental concept. This they might have discovered here, but for us, Purnatvam is extraordinarily important to Hindu dharma. We are complete. We are. When we say Aham Brahmasmi, that Brahmatvam represents Purnatvam. That's why we say there are various kalas we talk about. Shodasha Kala when we talk about for Devi or all of them. Or when we say Purnavataram, when even the avatars of gods, we talk about that Purnatvam. So there is something extraordinarily important. What can you take away about identity question? You need to recognize you are whole and complete by yourself. There is nothing that is missing. That is a big difference between ours and what you call a Judeo-Christian religions. Oh, we are sinners. We have to worship to get there. I'm not talking about how their philosophy is or perspective is, but I'm saying as a Hindu, when I recognize I am whole and complete and my journey of self-discovery is to embrace my Purnatvam. So it is not going from one place to another, going to heaven, going somewhere else. It is about realizing myself, the self with a bigger yes. And that bigger yes is the Purnatvam. So true identity comes down to discovering my wholeness. And from that wholeness comes the holiness. So when I respect myself, when I see myself as whole, then I am not going there to seek something as I am empty or I am half full. I am searching for something outside. Then the journey of what you call a inner learning, inner wisdom and in discovery, self-discovery becomes very meaningful. Why is that? What is out there is also what is inside. Like Shankaracharya says in something, Viswam Darpana Drusyamana Nagari Tulyam, Viswam Darpanam. The world is a mirror to who you are. So, like Yat Bhavam Tat Bhavati. So, third way in which you can discover your identity, irrespective of whatever other people are saying, that you are whole, you are complete, and you clarify your dharma. Operate from that self-inquiry of who am I? Like Ramana Maharshi said, Koham, who am I? The last one and most important, which is very, very interesting, because in United States we talk about three things in the Constitution. What are three things which they say? One, two, pursuit of happiness. It's interesting, in this country, happiness is something that is to be pursued. Whereas, if you truly look at your identity, there are several Upanishads which talk about, but primarily where they talk about happiness is Taittiriya Upanishad. Drudishto, Garishto, Balishta, that fellow's happiness is one. If you are in the time of youth, if you got everything what you got and if you feel strong and powerful, that happiness you feel is only one unit. Then it keeps going. Sata, 100, 100, 100, 100, it goes to 10 to the power 20. Brahmananda, that means infinite happiness. And that is not what you need to seek. That is part of you. When you truly identify yourself, when you discover your identity, what you experience is that Ananda. That's why in Taittiriya Upanishad, the Bhruguvalli, last one, he says, in the end what you do is like a happy. Vuha, vuha, vu. Now he becomes Pratamajayata Asmi. So the key part is, don't go outside to look for identity. Don't ask other people. Don't let other people define who you are. Don't listen to the box that they put you in. So if you try to engage with people who are trying to define you, if you compete with them, you become part of their box that they are operating from. If they write the op-ed, you only have a space for comment. No, you write your op-ed. You create your book. You create your movie. You live your life. Because your life is as sacred, as important, as meaningful as anybody else's life on the planet. And how do you do that? From the place of Ananda. So you start with the happiness which is within. That's why to discover your identity, ask yourself, the one metric I find which the Hindu Dharma provides is the Ananda metric. Not whether I am rich, whether I have this car, whether I have that job, or whether I am in this salary, but look at it and say, what is the level of happiness that I feel day in and day out? Because from that Ananda comes the gratitude. And from that gratitude, you develop santusti. What do we say several times? We say, truptostu, truptostu, truptostu. Trupti. When we come from, I am enough, I am complete, I am happy, and I know who I am. If you can go with these four as the basic affirmations that you can practice day after day after day, chances are nobody else can shake you from who you are, and nobody else can stop the journey of discovering and operating out of your Purnatvam. So what are the four things, four affirmations? One?
Identity.
No, those are the points. Tattvam, Purnam, Anandam and Dharmam. Those are the points. But I just mentioned four affirmations that you can practice every day. What? I am whole. I am happy. I'm full and complete. I'm sorry. I won't let other people define me because I know who I am. Once you come from there, like somebody said something beautiful, there is no journey, there is no travel, there is nothing. In Hindu Dharma, you are it and you are self-realized if you operate from there. When you don't, when you start raising questions, that is when the trouble begins. So your identity is whole, complete, it is dharmic, and it is happy. Operate from there. Then I have a feeling your journey day after day after day becomes extraordinarily meaningful. I wish you much more clarity about your identity and your dharma, your Purnatvam, and connect you to your own internal